Hi, my name is Jillian Burgess. I'm a building enclosure consultant with RWDI, and I focus on building enclosures for all types of buildings. I'm really passionate about making buildings more energy efficient, more resilient, particularly focusing on their long-term carbon footprints. And I'm here to talk today to talk to you about the specifics of laboratory building enclosures and envelopes, and how we can design more resilient laboratory buildings and the specific needs of labs on the building enclosure. So 4 learning objectives today. We're talking about low carbon building enclosures. And I'm going to talk about them from the campus perspective all the way down to the very detailed implementation and small scale. So we're going to be talking about a range of scales today and moving through them very quickly because we have a bit of a short amount of time. I'm going to talk about optimization strategies. We've got to deal with a lot of different things in building envelopes: resiliency, durability, maintenance, and how do we optimize all of the different needs that are placed on the building envelope. We're going to talk about some lab-specific enclosure design strategies, focusing on occupant comfort and the specific needs of researchers and lab occupants, and understand the specific details that laboratory operations and internal requirements place on the building enclosure. So when we start the building enclosure design, there are a lot of different performance requirements that go into our conversations. Of course, aesthetics is important. The enclosure and the envelope is the face of the building. It is the facade of the building. But that's not the only thing that the enclosure is doing. It's providing structural strength. It's doing a lot of work controlling heat, air, and moisture and solar radiation, keeping occupants comfortable on the inside, keeping them warm and dry, maintaining the optimal environment for them to do research or fulfill the functions that the building is intended for. There's also environmental impacts and the durability of those envelopes that we'll talk about. The enclosure has to control sound and control fire. There are security concerns that are constantly evolving in the industry. And of course, it must be economical. We have to be able to, the client has to be able to afford the building, and it has to be buildable. The contractor must be able to build it, and it must be able to be maintained and operated by the building owners. So we don't have time to talk about all of these things today. So I'm going to focus on a few of these things that are very specific to laboratory buildings. And the first one is airflow. Of course, airflow is so important to the interior environment of laboratory environments. But the exterior envelope has a huge impact